Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Thursday and Try It Thursday. My name's Kim and I'm the fitness coordinator for Seneca at York. Maybe I'll just give myself a new job title today. How about that? And welcome. So today I'm going to show you one of my go-to meals in the winter time. It's something that is actually very soul-warming. It is a great way to get a whole bunch of vegetables and good food into you. And it's really simple to make. So what I'm going to demo for you today is actually, I'm not going to use the fresh vegetables, I'm going to use frozen vegetables because I do realize vegetables are very, very expensive right now. I've noticed that in the last little bit. Prices have continually gone up, and I found that for the cost of the frozen vegetables, which are maybe just one step below fresh, but a lot better than canned, you definitely get a lot more, and you can freeze them in your freezer and not have to worry about it. So for this is actually called a winter mashup meal. So I'm just going to dump a whole bunch of stuff into a bowl, mix it up, and then you just put it in the oven and you cook it. It doesn't take very long for it to cook, just depending on your oven. So you want to preheat your oven to about 325, 350, and we're going to get started. So just pretend I've preheated the oven way over there. All right, so in a bowl, we are going to take 2 cups of corn. So this is frozen corn. Because you can't really get fresh corn right now. If not, it'd be very, very expensive. So frozen corn is going to go in the bowl. And like I said, this is still good. It's not as good as fresh. There we go. English, Kimberly. But it's still pretty good at frozen. So 2 cups of corn are going to go in. My favorite, 2 cups of green beans are going to go in the bowl. And if you want, you can just kind of give that a little bit of a mix so that is mixed up and all the corn's not stuck on the bottom. The other thing we're going to add in is broccoli and cauliflower. I know they aren't a favorite of people, but it is they're both very great vegetables. You get lots of good nutrients out of them, and they're really, I call them winter vegetables because they are really, really good in the wintertime. They're good when they're raw and you're dipping them in stuff, and they're also good when it's cooked as well. All right, so you can see you've got the beans, the cauliflower, the broccoli, the corn in there. I like the corn in there as well because it adds a little bit of color because I've got a lot of green and white vegetables in there. Next thing you can add in is mushrooms. So you can go through, cut up some of the bigger pieces, the bigger chunks, but you're just going to dump those in as well. Mushrooms in. All right, and that was the only thing that wasn't frozen. They weren't too bad. Okay, and finally, the last vegetable, sweet potato. If you're not a sweet potato fan, that's okay as well. You can actually use real potatoes. So I'm just going to wash down a sweet potato, cut off the end, and I'm just going to use my mandolin. And I'm just going to thinly slice the sweet potato. The reason I like using the sweet potato is, once again, it gives it a little bit of color. So you've got that orange in there. If you use regular potatoes, then you're back to kind of like that white. And I kind of like some color in my dinner plate. And I'm going to do this without slicing my finger off, which would be great. All right. So there they are. Mandolins are a really cool kitchen gadget if you do get one. You can slice up any kind of vegetable, any kind of fruit really, and you get nice thin slices instead of standing there with a sharp knife, almost taking off your fingers. So there's the sweet potato going in. All right. And the other thing you can do is, it's an option. If you're not into meat, that's fine. You don't have to put meat there. If you don't want to put meat in with your vegetables to cook, you don't have to do that as well. You can always have it as a side because this could be a side dish as well. What I've done is I've taken some pre-cooked shredded chicken. Once again, I bought it. The best chicken is the ones that you cook, but hey, who has time to cook an entire chicken and then shred it? So this is just shredded chicken going in. It is cooked, okay? So don't put raw chicken in there and expect it to be made in 10 minutes. That's not going to go over well with your stomach. So there it is. There's a big bowl of vegetables. The last thing is, I use sun-dried tomato and oregano dressing. I use a whole bunch of different dressings as well. I can put Italian on top of it. I can do a lemon pepper dressing. What it does is it's just going to give it flavor. If you just dump that on the pan, first of all, it's going to burn because there's nothing there to kind of protect it from the heat. But this is going to give it some good flavor. And because it's oil-based, it's nice and thin. And you're gonna put about a half a cup in there. I know I'm just squeezing a bottle on, but I make this all the time, so I have an idea. And the next thing you wanna do is you wanna mix it up without getting it all over the place. And if you don't get all the way down to the bottom, that's okay as well, because when you dump it onto the pan, the dressing will run down a little bit, and when it starts to warm up in the oven, it definitely seeps down through all the other vegetables. All right, so now I've got a big bowl of food. Awesome. It does look like a lot, but the other great thing is with this recipe, I make it, and then whatever I'm not going to have for dinner that night, I will actually divide up, put it into bowls, put it in the freezer, and I've got meals that I can go to for a while afterwards. Did not mix up all the corn all the way. All right, so emptying out the bowl. The other thing you want to make sure you're doing is evenly distribute it on the pan. Goodness. All right. There you go. And that pan is ready to go into the oven. That's already preheated. You're going to stick that in the oven. Put it in the oven. Over here. Make some oven noises. And then you're going to cook it for anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. And what you get is you get a nice, very healthy bowl of vegetables with some meat in it. A meal ready to go. And any extras you can put in the freezer. And you've got meals later in the week if you really don't want to cook. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope everyone has a great rest of the day. It's supposed to be above zero. The sun is out. Get outside, get some walking in before we get some snow tonight, and enjoy. So please be safe, be healthy, be active, be well, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.